you joining me live on the broadcast. Similarly, at the time when there are in fact concerns growing on the Waqf amendment report, the opposition MPs and lawmakers have alleged that their parts of dissent have been expunged without their knowledge from the report. And at this point of time, in fact, they have written to Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla as well, alleging that key portions from their dissent notes have been submitted to the JPC and they have been deleted. How do you respond to this entire controversy on the Waqf amendment bill that in fact is also going to be tabled soon?
You know, there are two sides. One side which wants that there should be an amendment to the Waqf Act, being it ultra wires to the constitution, and favors one particular community in the name of minority, but other minorities are excluded into it. And the truth that's it has become a land grabbing board rather being the Waqf board. And the other side is they say that it is an encouragement on their religious freedom. So of course some allegations would be put so that the process which is constitutional, which is initiated at par with the constitutional provisions to bring everyone in the legal domain free. Then there is when we are a country run by the constitution, where the constitution is supreme, which talks about the court, and approaching to the court is the fundamental right of each and every citizen of this country. But by this act, the Waqf Act, there is no provision to go to the court. So, Simran, when there is a property dispute is always resolved by going to the civil court. But here in the Waqf Act, if you see, which is existing as of now, there is no redressal to go to the court. So one person who is doing the appeasement politics, one side which is looking them as a major vote bank, they will of course allege. But if you ask the common citizen of this country, if you ask the lawyers of this country who are practicing in Supreme Court or various courts of the country, that whether this act gives right to any citizen to approach to the court, they will say, we are sorry, it's a Waqf Act, we have ceased to have power. And the courts also say, look, there is no provision for appeal and revision to the court of law. Only the tribunal has to decide what is decided. Tribunal's decision is final and binding. In that say, those who are taking vote in the name of a particular community will of course allege. It's but natural, it's but common. This is one side. Second side is the dissent is the constitutional freedom given in the constitution. It's a fundamental right. Everyone can dissent to something or assent to something. That's not an issue. Issue is how this bill is passed so that the law which is existing, which is not with the constitutional mandate, which was brought to bring to appease certain class of people, has gone. Number three, you see, have you seen that any surveyor appointed under the Waqf board, it says that this property belongs to mine, irrespective of the fact that was legally purchased by somebody from someone. He says, no, this is Waqf property because someone was owner in 1946. He was belonging to a particular religion. Therefore, this property was given by him to the Waqf board and vested with the Waqf, and therefore you cannot have to have the ownership. If this kind of act will exist, then where people will go? So I think that the proposed amendments which have been brought must be passed. And those who oppose it, they have always been opposing it for a good cause of the country. Over to you.
Well, all right, Ashwini Dubey, thank you very much for in fact being with us and sharing your take on that note. Now moving